Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 117 in the Gospel of John. Today is, can I build a relationship with God? The answer is going to be yes. Scripture has this particular word for it. It's called abiding. Now, what's abiding? So attachment, for the first time, that's called belief or receiving him or having faith. But abiding is the process of an ongoing relationship that happens after you attach for the first time. So abiding is the continual, observable efforts of relationship building with God. So don't be surprised that it requires some effort. Don't be surprised that it is an effort-building relationship. So regular habits that build attachment and connection. It's like any human relationship. And that is, spiritually, one puts oneself on the path of worship. One puts oneself on the path of fellowship. One puts oneself on the path of spiritual awe, having a quiet time, watching podcasts such as this, and puts oneself on the path of service. Today's passage is going to emphasize that this is a recipe, and a recipe for joy, and eventually a reminder of love and an access point that we get to speak to the Lord. Here's the passage. This is from John chapter 15. I'm going to start in verse 6. Just do verses 6 and 7. There's a lot there. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch and withers. And the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire, and burned. That's verse 6. Verse 7. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. That's the verse you want to get to. But first, let's do verse 6. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like the branch and withers, and the branches are gathered and thrown into the fire and burned. So he's talking about branches that don't abide, that don't attach, and aren't in an ongoing relationship despite their opportunity. So there's judgment at the end of this verse because there's opportunity at the beginning of it. So these are branches that don't produce fruit. So we see that God is identifying the true branches and the non-true branches. So God's not mocked. He knows what's up. The second thing we see is that these branches are being gathered. That is, there's more than one of them. So if you're a non-believer, you're kind of in good company or bad company, but there's more than one a person. So they're being gathered, identified first and gathered. They're being assessed. So these branches are undergoing the assessment of the fire of judgment. So in heaven, I guarantee you that when you go to heaven and people are carrying around signs, no one is carrying around this sign, which is, I want justice and I want it now. No, so don't be that guy. Believe today, attach today, receive today. Receive the person of Jesus. Why? Because he comes with the gift of mercy. He comes with the benefit of mercy. So here's my plea to you, casual listeners who have maybe stumbled on this podcast, if you're far away, you're in good company or in plenty of bad company. But here's the thing. He came to get you. He came to allow you to be attached to him. So think about that. Think about attaching to him and then abiding in him, which is what we're going to talk about for the rest of this little podcast. So let's talk about the benefits of abiding. If you abide in me, if you attach in me, if the primary thing you get is you get the person of God. He says, I am the vine, and you are attaching to me. And this is a wonder for us. This is one of the greatest truths in the Bible, that the reward of becoming a Christian is himself, God himself. It's also one of the greatest mysteries. Like, why does he do this for us? It's just amazing. And my words. So if you abide in me and my words abide in you, that is, you get a relationship with God and you get a relationship with his word. And my observation is that the intimacy of a person's relationship with the word closely parallels their relationship with God. So often you can accurately assess a person's relationship with God by observing their relationship with the word, and seldom is there any daylight in between those things. Okay, so churches do well to hold up and honor the knowing of the word, for sure. Encourage study of the Bible and application and obedience to it. This knowledge must yield fruit. So you don't want to belong to a church that knows nothing. That's a bad idea. If so, why did God go through all the trouble to tell us his wonderful things? Similarly, you also don't want to go to a church that just knows a lot. So why do we want to know a lot? Well, because it demonstrates and proves that we love the Lord, so that we can obey it, so we can follow it, so we can enjoy the fellowship with each other doing it, but more specifically, enjoy the fellowship of him that the word is pointing us to. All right, so verse 7, again, if you abide in me and my words abide in me, listen to this part, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. So obviously, I'd like to camp on ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you, but there's a condition for the success of the ask, and here it is. If you abide, if you attach rightly, if you foster the behaviors and activities of abiding. So it says to forsake not the efforts of abiding, the habits of an abiding person. So Scripture's not silent on what it means to stay attached to him. One may not know out of ignorance or belief, or just that you're a new believer, or one may know and choose not to do out of resistance or unbelief or inconvenience or tiresomeness, or because it's challenging. Here's what I want to say. Write this down. Abiding is not for sissies. If you abide, everyone abides somewhere, and he's telling us, let's abide in him. The point of this vine branch picture is that the xylem and phloem of the trunk of the vine can flow into the attached branch. The DNA of the vine is in the branch. The supply from the vine is in the branch. The lifeblood of the vine is in the lifeblood of the branch. And only with this understanding can you say, if you abide in me and my words abide in you. So before we ask whatever we wish and wait for it to be done, ask first, am I abiding? Am I actively abiding? Am I aggressively abiding? Am I abiding with the great effort that it's supposed to require? So can I build a relationship with God? Back to our first question. The answer is yes, yes, yes. How? Well, attach first and then abide, which is exerting the efforts of abiding in worship, fellowship, service, and awe. Out of that mouth then, out of that precondition, comes the asking, comes the heart of the wishing. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Please come back.